She's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker. Steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date.
Hey Pride, this is Shareth.
This is Nordia.
And I'm Cherie.
And we are the Melanin Trio. So, of course, you know we're a part of Roar. This year we are starting something new and we wanted to branch out into our vlog segment. So, welcome to our first episode. We wanted to kick things off by just doing a little casual, tell us about yourself, get to know you, whatever. So you could kind of learn more about us and our plans for this upcoming year. So we'll just jump right in. First question, tell us about yourself. So I guess I'll start. I'm Shareth. I'm the main writer and the brains behind this whole operation. I brought them together. Yes, you can hate all you want, Shareth. But seriously though, I mostly write for Roar. I'm responsible for a lot of the content that comes out daily on our social media. And outside of Roar, I just like hanging out with my family, dancing. I'm trying to do this whole wellness cake and whatever. But outside of that, that's me.
Okay, it's my turn. Hi, I'm Nordia, if you didn't hear.
They heard.
I am responsible for the page of Nori's Pride, and pretty much outside of Nori's Pride and Roar, I am a dancer, I'm in step, and of course I like to party and chill with my family.
No partying until you're 21.
I mean, well, safe partying with the family.
Okay. So I'm Cherie, the aka
Protective
mom
one
of the group. I am mostly responsible for the women's intuition content. I co-write with Shareth, who, as you know, claims to be the brains of the operation, but we'll see how that goes. Outside of Roar, I'm pretty much a family person. I love being around my family. I enjoy reading, dancing, and for the most part, just enjoying life. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So now for question 2.
Name 2 things you all have in common. What's one huge difference?
Definitely dance.
Yes.
Is what we have in
That's
common.
one.
In fact, we have videos of us
us
like just dancing.
Yeah, we swear we're gonna have a Zumba group at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Dance group.
Zumba,
Get
soca,
ready.
Afrofusion type something.
They're
It's
going
coming.
on.
It is coming.
It's on its way.
So the biggest difference, I would say, is our personalities. So Shareth is definitely a little bit of the goofy one.
Excuse me? I thought you were going to say outgoing.
Outgoing,
A blessing
goofy.
to be around.
I'm around that. I'm the social butterfly.
She
Nordia
is the social
super
butterfly.
social. I swear she gets along with everybody.
That is true.
And she's kind of one of those like sweet, like down to earth type. Take care of all your kids type.
Yeah, like we starting a babysitting service.
I'll
We'll give
get
you the
$20
details.
an hour.
She got it. I promise you, she got
pat.
it. And then now Cherie is just anti.
She's
I am
shy.
not anti. I am the mom of the group.
Yes.
Typically the most responsible and the one that's like, okay, enough of the shenanigans, get it together type person. So
Yeah, like
every
if
group
there's
needs
bloopers,
one.
it's because we got out of hand. And if we continue, it's because she wrapped it all up. So, yeah.
So the next question is, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Can I start? I don't like hot breath. No, I mean
Morning
like
breath.
No, it
Right,
don't even
morning.
matter. It's just hot breath. It makes me uncomfortable.
I hate when people when they chew gum or even when they're eating, they're like clapping their mouth.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
bad.
Yeah. Pet peeve, I hate when people jump into conversation, like interrupt conversations that they had nothing to do with. It's different if we're talking and you
have something
intercepting,
valid, yeah.
whatever. But if an outside person like jumps in and I'm like, wait,
Where did
Who
you
are
come
you?
from?
yeah, that I'm not
See,
okay with.
I got
This
it's
is
an
an
A-B conversation.
See
yourself out.
or something like that.
That was cute, guys. That was cute. Okay, next question. What is one talent you wish you had?
I wish I could draw because we have an issue with that.
Dang, I guess we not talented because mine is the same thing. I seriously, my stick figures need help. Like,
My son needs some help.
You can't draw the sun, guys?
I draw it on the corner of the page.
All right.
My talent that I wish I had, I wish I could play an instrument.
Yeah.
Mostly the keyboard or piano and the guitar. But
The bass drum, the bass and the drum. That's my thing. Okay.
Next question. What female celebrity do you wish you were related to?
Okay. What about you?
So-
No, wait. Let me go. Oprah, because then I'd be rich. Yes, Auntie Oprah.
Make
if
that-
you're listening.
make that-
Okay. What about you, Cherie?
I would probably go with Michelle Obama.
Right.
I'm like in the midst of her book right now, and I swear she's like a saint.
Yeah.
I just love her vibe. I love the fact that she seems so down to earth and reachable, even
Yeah.
though she's
like who she is.
yeah.
Right.
So I think she would be like the cool aunt, like the aunt that you could really chill with, and she would have so many lessons for you.
Yeah.
But she would make it super fun. Like
Yeah.
she was probably like,
She's dope.
hey auntie.
Yeah.
So you already know mine. I'd say Rihanna, you know, because we got big foreheads.
What? Big foreheads.
Big forehead gang.
Unite.
Hashtag.
Okay. Next question. What's your go-to hairstyle?
It's right here. Bun. This
Well,
is me.
funny enough. Okay, so we're all natural, right? And we do different things with our hair. This
Not
one
we.
though,
Not we.
nothing. Like if she could live in a bun,
She
she
would
would do
do
that.
that for a
We
little
were
while.
supposed to have like similar hairdos. You know, we're supposed to have a little twist
Twist
out
out.
or braid out thing going. I got mine done last night. Nordia kicked hers off in the morning,
And-
she shows up
With a bun.
with a bun.
Listen, these things take time and energy, and I have neither. So it's just like, it's easy. You slap some of the gel.
I mean, I get
Done.
it. I definitely partake in the occasional bun. But the answer to the question is, me and Nordia will play with it all. Cherie will not. She'll mostly do a bun. She'll venture out into a twist out, and anything else,
Twist
she'll
outs
just have
are
us do.
okay. Or no, not twist outs. Braid outs.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
I feel like you get a little bit more
More
definition.
curls, yeah.
But that's about all I got. Like, to me, even my braid outs are like 30, 45 minutes. Don't know why. I can't. I cannot.
So anything else that she needs done with her hair, she pretty much just asked me to do it. So we'll just go with that. Her go-to hairstyle is me.
Pretty much.
Next question.
All right. If you were a superhero, what powers would you have?
I would want to be invisible, and I know that
Of
sounds
course.
super obvious.
Sounds very depressing.
I'm
No,
really-
it's super introverted, which she is.
I am
super introverted.
so much of an introvert, but my reason for invisibility is not even so much. It's not noble, actually. It would be because I want to know if somebody's talking about me.
Oh Lord, she got petty with it, guys.
Yeah, I have
She-
to admit. It wouldn't be because, oh no, she just doesn't want to be seen, and no, I want to know
You trying to get?
if I walk
Yeah.
out this room right now and they think I'm not here, and
Just, you know, get
I want to
Who's
know
talking
what they're
behind your
saying,
back? I feel you.
basically.
I was saying I wanted to read minds, but then I was like, I really don't care what they have to say.
Bet.
So, you know, I'm just gonna fly, you know, in the air.
Freedom.
That's true. Well, she stole mine. I was gonna fly, but mine ain't noble either, because I don't want to pay for plane tickets. I'm cheap, y'all. Very cheap. All right.
So next question is, what has required the most courage of you in your life so far? I can definitely speak to that because even sitting here, and I feel like I'm putting myself out there. I am, again, an introvert, and putting myself out there is probably one of the biggest fears I have. Even coming over here, the first thing I said to my husband was, I feel like I'm out of my element and it is uncomfortable. And he was just like, just do it. I'm like, that's not even
honestly-
helpful, but whatever.
But we've been talking about the vlog for a long time. In fact, the vlog was her idea, which surprised me.
It was?
Yes, it was, because we were talking about, you know, the blog content, and a lot of the times we have so much to say, like to read all of that is just, it's easier in video format. But it took us this long because she had to warm herself up to the idea of even doing this. So thank her for being brave. Okay, what about you, Nordia?
I think performing in front of big audiences.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
just seeing the crowd, see their faces, that is
And if you
scary.
mess up-
They say you just have to picture them in their underwear.
Isn't that kind of rapey?
I'm sorry, it's a little inappropriate, but
Kinda
they
crazy.
say it works. When we used to perform, what we used to get told is to stare over their heads.
Yes.
So,
So
don't
you're not
look
seeing
at
anything.
the audience. You want to just look like
Right above their heads.
Yeah.
And luckily, like for us, whenever you're performing on like a stage, looking above their heads means looking in the light. So, you know, you want to angle yourself so you're looking in the light. But if it's like your pep rally that's
Yeah.
coming up, then you know, just you can't look above nobody's head.
I
They're
know,
I
right.
just gotta get
Just-
over it.
You know the steps. Get it done.
You'll
got
be
this.
fine.
Yep. Most courageous thing for me. I mean, everybody knows I'm kind of out there. There's not much that I won't do, but the hardest thing for me was probably the post that I did the other day about, you know, what happened with my miscarriage and stuff like that. It's hard to deal with, and it's even harder to put that out there because you don't know what people's responses are going to be. You know, a lot of it is, oh, you know, I'm so sorry, and some of it is advice that was ill-timed, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so much that you open yourself up to just by bringing it out there, but I thought it was so important. So I'm glad I worked up the courage to put it out there.
And the biggest thing about it, when she put that post out there, it was raw, it was real, and even myself as the twin, who of course knew before you guys did, I'm just saying, to see that come out there, I felt like that was a step, not the first step, but it was definitely a step towards healing because she's such an extrovert. She had to get it out. She had to air it out. She had to be able to see it take flight in order for it to go where it needs to go so she can be at peace with it finally. So it was a huge step for her. It was a huge step for Roar. It was big for me to see, especially when it comes to like talking about like vulnerabilities and being able to put yourself out there. So I kind of feel like we're kind of building each other up right now in terms of how much we're willing to share.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
I will say a lot of it is gonna be lightweight. You know, we like to keep it inspirational, but the reality of it is, especially
all
as
go
women
through
of color,
something.
yeah, we go through stuff. Even Nordia, she's going through her own growing pains now, and that's gonna start coming out in her
gonna
posts and
manifest
her
itself.
videos. So we're growing, we're learning, and hopefully you guys will grow with us too. Next thing, let's lighten it up a bit. What's your favorite thing to do together?
DANCE.
And
Again.
this!
Yeah.
This is fun. Like we actually, so dancing that comes naturally. Like whether it's at a party or whatever,
We're always in
or that time we went to the park and started working on random
Zumba
choreography.
choreography,
Like
yeah.
that's just something that comes naturally. We do that a lot with each other. We work off each other. We each have different styles of dancing, different ways of dancing. All three very creative, and we fuse it to kind of make it us. So that's always fun.
Yeah.
But for Roar, I think I enjoy doing this together because I think it brings us closer together. Like we're able to talk about a lot of things. I mean, we're all close and we talk to each other. Thank God. Like some people don't have that, but we're close. But this brings us closer because we kind of get into the nitty-gritty. We're always around each other. We're brainstorming about topics and stuff like that. So with my sisters, it's always a good time.
Oh.
That is the sweetest thing she's ever said.
They don't get a lot of this from me.
Last
So,
but
yeah.
not least, what inspired you to start the channel?
Interestingly enough, I feel like it kind of started on two different fronts. So Shareth had Roar. She was the inspiration behind Roar. And I remember one day mentioning that I wanted to blog to her, and women's intuition came up. But they were two separate platforms at first. She had Roar, and then we co-wrote for Women's Intuition. And what we were noticing was that a lot of the topics they kind of went together, and they correlated in a way where we felt like maybe we can put it all together rather than making it a separate thing. So we came up with like Roar as the mother company, and the Women's Intuition was going to be like a subgroup under it. So Nori's Pride actually came up when she got to the age where she was seeing certain things and having to deal with certain things at school, and she would talk about it, and we wanted to put it out there, not just like once we spoke to her and gave her whatever advice we had, or noticed that there was a trend across like a lot of black girls or girls of color, period. And we figured we should add her to the platform as well, just so we can keep it in scope and keep it all together. So now we have Roar, then Women's Intuition, and
Nori's Pride.
So it kind of envelops everything, like every aspect of.
Yes.
We have
so Roar focuses primarily on the issues that we face as women of color. It also has a lot to do with empowerment, female empowerment, providing inspiration, motivation, and just all melanin magic, like celebrating us, you know, in a way that we don't always get celebrated. Whereas women's intuition, our biggest thing was, especially because we're twins, a lot of people expect for us to be the same across the board where it concerns wellness or anything for that matter. And it's just not true. Like, we each have our individual struggles with, you know, body image, self-esteem, health and wellness, all of that stuff. And we wanted Women's Intuition to be that platform where we're able to voice our differences as well as, you know, the ways in which that we're the same.
Basically like highlighting and celebrating everything that makes us unique.
Yeah.
And everything that makes us the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's especially as women of color, like you said, there's so much that we face together that we don't even know we face together, including the miscarriage, fertility issues,
weight issues, all kinds of stuff.
There's so much that we have yet to tap into in terms of knowledge base, and I think a lot of it is because we don't communicate it. So that's the purpose of Women's Intuition, is to give that section a voice, basically. And then Nori's Pride.
Hey y'all.
I think the beautiful thing about how Nori's Pride started, it was, and I don't know if you want me to share this, but Nordia was kind of going through her own stuff at school, like Cherie said. But our biggest thing, outside of the advice and all that stuff, is like Roar, as we've been repeating, is about empowerment. And we needed to find a way for her to do that for herself, like in terms of building her self-esteem and building herself up and stuff like that. So I thought, and we both discussed it, that there was no better way than for her to be put out there and, you know, voice your own opinions about the stuff that you go through.
It's like a diary, kind of like a journal. Just say everything, put everything out there, and hopefully girls like me go through the same thing,
They can
relate to what I go through.
Yeah, but we're growing, guys. We definitely just wanted this to be just kind of a light conversation, so you could kind of know more about us and see what we have coming up on the spectrum. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Definitely more coming. We're trying to keep ourselves on a schedule.
Very active.
Yeah, a lot of it, the difficulty is timing, but we're finding ways to kind of narrow everything down so that we each know when content needs to be pushed out and keep ourselves organized on that front. So, thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had as much fun as we did creating this video. With the Melanin Trio.
I didn't even know we had that name until today.
She doesn't pay attention, y'all. She, especially on the regular posts.
I just write.
She writes. She doesn't even have Instagram. Like,
That's,
Yeah, but we'll work on
We're
that
not
for
working
next
on
time.
that.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna get
Anyway,
it.
thanks for joining
Never
us.
seen
Bye.
melanin so dark. You're the queen of the dance floor night. Such a light one Nairobi scene, baby. Won't you put me in your diary? Heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker. Steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date ya.